Your Honour, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client. But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. I suppose you're correct.
So I'd like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate?
I trust my memory. I believe I've made no mistakes. So your client was Adrian Andrews? That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met, but if they did, there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. There doesn't seem to be anything strange this time round. There's a trouble with information and you can't draw up a suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Well, I did, so... There we go. I'd like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that's correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat to myself, yes, that is correct? I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale. What? Shelley the killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up about her. So what's the issue? What did you just say now? About her? If you'd ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you she is a woman. Oh.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this?
The witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request.
But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person? Yes, Your Honour, that's exactly the point. That means Mrs. De Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it's to do with her name, Your Honour. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. De Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one has stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What's going on? Shelley De Killer! The court demands an explanation.
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another.
So does this mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you'd allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. You just said that you don't do that. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of one Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
So you took this job through a letter?
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like we can do this. As long as he's standing across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
But didn't you just say you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now, let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice isn't going to work on me. Alright then, just cough it up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer. Behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof Mr. Killer met with his client?
I'll back off from this for now and see what else comes up. I'm sorry, Your Honour. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. Your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honour, this is the nature of right and wrong.
And why could you not meet certain clients? Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I meet each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities.
Nice business opportunities?
On top of which, the times have changed. It's now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I've joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail.
Electronic mail? Do you have to mail it in a special insulated envelope?
I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I mean by electronic mail is what's commonly referred to as email.
Email?
In a contrast of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down.
Anyway, she took this job without having met your client, and?
2 or 3 other things? Yes. And what were those other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I've said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what's pushing you to continue this cross-examination. Could it be that you're planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber, and that should you turn out to be one... Wait! Oh, this is looking really bad. I Shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us these other jobs your client requested. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? Inside Mr. Kalida's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information clearly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. I found this figurine at Mr. Ongard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ongard, I'm sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with that piece of testimony?
Yes, I do, because Powers testified that he saw you hand it off at the hotel. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there's a contradiction, and yet, I know if I present something trivial here, he'll cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? If there was something there that relates to Powers' testimony, then I don't know what it was. I'm going to back out of this for now and see what else there might be. It's no use. As long as I can't put my finger on the central problem here, pressing the witness anymore will be extremely dangerous.
It appears Mr. Wright has no problems. Well then, witness, please continue.
So you say you never saw your client's face, not even once. I did once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine.
Yes, I see.
But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time.
A mask?
The nickel samurai mask, I'm guessing.
Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
This is tough. I think I can pull something out of what you said, but it would be real bad if I did something and made it mad over something trivial. There are no problems with the testimony, Your Honour. We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we're still okay to me. That's exactly what's so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know what sort of a situation that will put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray the items reach us in time. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in the statement there's a contradiction. And yet... Cut the... yeah. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Onguard Mansion. Is that correct? Yes, where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Whoops. What do you think? Witness. Mr. the Killer? Oh, I'm sorry. I went to visit the water closet for a second. Huh? Mr. Attorney, I think it's time I stated this in terms even you can comprehend. If you ask me any more of these pointless questions, there will be no mercy. Now I'd like to move on with my testimony. Okay. Let's try this one then. One thing does sort of stick out at me, Your Honour. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Let's recall Mr. Power's testimony. There we go! After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room in his nickel samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. Onguard, and at the time he was not wearing his nickel samurai mask. Oh!
Order! Order! Now you mention it, I do remember that. Witness!
Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying Jews to various rooms. Is that so wrong? Huh? The man who gave me the tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person.
I'm sorry, but sadly we're not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting?
Oh, the deja vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man?
And where's your evidence of that large roll of cash was not in fact a tip? Come, Mr. Edgeworth, show me the money. What?
Mr. Attorney? Yes? You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client. No, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know? Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all. Ugh. I think we're on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I'm free to cut contact at any time. I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness.
If only you were this apologetic all the time. Anyway, I do not see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness.
Fuck. This one had something, maybe that's it. Client meeting is simply not possible. Did you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Do you have any evidence that Mr. Tequila met with his client? We've come this far, I have to try and prove something here. Very well, I will show you proof. Are you sure about this, Phoenix? Here's the proof the witness met with his client who wished Mr. Corrida dead. Nope. I think I'm going to have to look this one up, I'm afraid. Okay, it is this one. Shelley the Killer. If you've really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. Oh, because she would have taken it out already. This item.
I see where you're going.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honour, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. I was going to burn it for her sake. If for even a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Order! Order! So that's where you two are going. By the very fact this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honour, it's impossible for Agent Andrews to have been the client. Oh! Order! Order!
Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's enough. If this is your intention, then there is only one thing left for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please, not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, or may I stay... Bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
What? Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should.
Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya...
The prosecution... What's come over everyone? Even you, The prosecution rests.
What's going on?
What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honour. What? I never thought I'd see the day. This is the most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, even though I'm reluctant, I must believe Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That means Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honour.
If I end the trial here, right now, your client, Matt Ungard, would be declared innocent. In his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews will be charged with murder?
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defence's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant Matt Ungard to the stand.
The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could. It looks like our time's run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you're innocent.
Ha! So I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. On Guard? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap is just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? Better get on guard and get his sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Ms. Andrews will be charged with murder. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defence's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, your client, Mr. Matongard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man.
After all, Mr. Lawyer's going to do what I want, aren't you?
Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt On Guard, is... not guilty.
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt On Guard, your client deserves an answer.
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt On Guard is... Franziska von Karma?
What are you doing here? Ow!
You'll see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Bites? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off the scruffy fool.
Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them?
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Myers Edgeworth. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scuffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
His gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for the ugliness. There was nothing else to wrap the items in. I thought long and hard this whole trial. All for what's inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside this coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honour, inside that filthy coat are the defence's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence? Trial's already over. All that remains of me is to hand down my verdict. I don't believe any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What?
Your Honour, it's our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right. Mr. Edgeworth, I grant permission to do so. However, the one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, they will not be accepted by the court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please.
The piece of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Your Honour. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there'll be something that will turn the whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Does the pistol have any relation to this case? I've yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe this has something to do with the case, at least with me.
That's the pistol he used to shoot you, isn't it?
That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder in sort of a memento. I'm sure it would be an excellent sample for the test. It's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is the videotape. I bet the killer took it from On Guard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there is no time to. Yeah. But I would speculate the tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. Looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. Somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Showing the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is the bellboy uniform. And a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel. Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. No doubt about it, the killer was wearing these the night of the murder. There is one thing I find interesting about the uniform. And what's that? There is a button missing on the uniform.
A button?
A very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. One of its special buttons is missing. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
Just as I thought.
And what's that, Your Honor?
I'm sure were under normal circumstances, these items portrayed to killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It's who's the client. Yes, that's correct. These 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may step down now.
Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. The court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. The judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he?
Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make the miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first... Make On Guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If On Guard himself wishes to be convicted, he will let the hostage go. That may be true, but That's asking me to do the impossible. Second way, force the killer to end his contract with On Guard. If the killer were no longer to think of On Guard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He's the man who valued his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already stated he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what's always worked for us? The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? The judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. Defense, prosecution, the judge. We've all seen the pieces of evidence. That's how we've come to know the truth. There's one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. The truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no more objections at this time, correct? I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honour.
Then, you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honour. Please, Your Honour.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
One chance.
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible. To turn the situation around in one try. One try is all I will permit.
I have to try to remember everything that's happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking On Guard down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? I see. And now, tell this court what piece of evidence you would like to show this person. What do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to the witness. Bailiff, please bring the transceiver from earlier.
All right. It looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to the trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape found at your hideout. I heard you wounded 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What?
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that planted that camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honour. Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Guard film the crime scene? To clear himself. Obviously. The reason why he did this is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. Blackmail. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said.
I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Dude. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want.
Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer?
Oh!
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That's the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots about how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That's the true nature of your client.
I have one question for the witness.
Yes?
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
What if the traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honour of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
I see. That's all I wanted to know.
So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness.